Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Waddell, Mr. Johnstone,
Here.
Mr. Shealy,
Here.
Mr. Leskovic,
Here.
Mr. Julian.
Here.
Mr. Lastic. Mr. Stredney.
Here.
Mr. Solito.
Here. I believe Mr. Waddell said he had prior arrangements, so there'd be a motion in order to excuse Mr. Waddell today.
Make a motion.
second it. Motion by Mr. Julian, second by Mr. Stredney. All in favor? We need a motion to second and approve the general consent agenda today.
I have a question about this.
Questions, comments? Go ahead, Ed.
When we do the liquor license, we refer, or do we have to refer to the police chief, or does it automatically get referred?
We generally have this, usually the head of the safety chair makes a motion to have it removed or have it referred to the police chief. But we just, since that's our normal action, we just put it on the consent agenda.
Okay, because this one, just the location, I guess, threw me for a loop.
Any other questions, comments? Motion by Mr. Stradney,
Second.
second by Mr. Julian. Clerk, call the roll.
Um,
Go ahead, Howard.
Mr. Johnstone,
Yes.
Mr. Shealy,
Yes.
Mr. Leskovic,
Yes.
Mr. Julian.
Yes.
Mr. Lastic. Mr. Stredney. 6 yeas.
Consent agenda has been approved. Public comments? Any public comments? Come to the podium, please.
This first one is going out to the third council member, James. I think it's been 5 or 6 days since I sent you those pictures and all the complaints. Anything?
Directed to the chair. Directed to the chair.
And you would be, name please?
Solito.
Is that Solito? It's coming. I'll get you that address. I thought it was on the picture. But you saw the picture, so obviously there's something wrong.
Yes.
So if I get you the address tonight, maybe a day or
You're gonna
two.
need to direct it to the chair.
Also, you guys tried to give me a ticket for a strip of grass. About 3 months earlier, you sent, I think, Mario over somebody, tried to have me tow my pickup out of my property, saying it was not permitted to park in a commercial truck in a driveway. It's an everyday pickup, non-commercial. So you know what I did? I ran around and got 44 commercial vehicles that sit at home at night. And I'm letting all council members know in case that falls in your ward, because you're gonna each get 44 separate emails with the trucks and addresses. That includes safety service and the law director. About the yards, I had quite a few people send them in. I got 83 yards. That's all violating Niles ordinances. But you're still coming after me about a strip of grass where the rabbits are living. That's fine, because that's taken care of. But you're also going to get 75 additional emails for each address and each complaint. Your emails are going to get full. I also been talking to Yvonne from the AG's office, and she's aware of everything that's been going on, especially for the past 19 months. That's why I haven't been saying too much or coming to meetings. But, you know, dereliction of duty is not just for law enforcement, it's for elected officials. And she said, I absolutely, if I wait for 2 weeks to the next council meeting to see what happens with these addresses and these trucks parked, if they don't do nothing, I have every right to go into local courts, which would be Niles, and follow the dereliction of duty on each member, which is going to be a lot of money, but I will do it. I then told her when she said that, I'll be met with the law director that'll tell me there's no way I can do that. I'm not allowed, blah, blah, blah. She then said, make sure you record it When you're done, if that happens, send it right to me, which that's what we're gonna be doing. 2 weeks. I told you about the boat over at the old G building. It's still there. There's grass this high. So obviously this is just an attempt to come after me like you guys have been. But I'm okay with that. Perjury is a 6-year statute. And when you commit perjury to put somebody in jail for a TPO, you kind of jumped way up there now. 6 years. The witnesses that you called and told them to lie on a TPO hearing against a former friend, girlfriend of yours, I have that recording, and they're not going to commit perjury to testify what you told them to say. Every one of them lied, but that's okay. So, also, even tonight, I got 11 videos going on 10 and a half months that I come through that door. I get almost strip searched. I get my arms out, my legs out. They look in my bag. They look at everything. I've watched you walk through there and never get searched. I got it all on video because I videoed every one of you guys just walking right on through, talking to the cops that's there, whoever there is, because there's different ones. But when it comes to me, I mean, it was put in because of me. We know that. I know, but I'm not saying you.
Look up
I got the
here.
videos.
Here.
I got the videos of people walking in. I'm talking elected officials. Elected officials. So, I mean, it's, you know, the saying on the street where streets talking, rumors getting around. A lot of you don't remember what happened when Infant went down and what was involved with me. And with what I'm hearing now, I even asked the officer to come up here with me for my safety, which I can see he refused. I don't think you can get there fast enough if he comes after me. I'm just saying, just let that be on the record. Because this close, goes up and down, this close. You're going to find out who you're dealing with. You're going to find out who one of you were sitting up there with. And it's going to get ugly. If you'd like to comment, Mr. Is it Salito?
George, I mean, we're all getting a little nervous, but I'll interrupt you. Keep doing your
No,
thing.
go right ahead, talk. You love talking.
I don't interrupt you, George. You got the plan. You go ahead and handle your business.
You know, people change your name every day, 1,000 people a day. You only seal it when there's criminal. Or possibly, I'm not accusing, I'm just saying. But it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna enjoy it.
You got about 10 seconds.
You guys, you got anything to say? Oh, also, case notes. 14 times, I got you
Up.
guys talking to each other, texting during a public meeting. That's
Time's
against
up.
the law.
Grab a seat.
That's against the law.
Grab a seat.
You're not allowed to text anyone
Grab a
during a
seat.
public meeting.
Officer, can you escort him out?
There he goes. Now he'll come up. He wouldn't come up for my safety, but he's gonna come up for you to have me removed.
He's to leave the premises, Mr. Hellman.
I'd like to see an ordinance, passed, I don't want to see no hookahs or strip bars or, any kind of like that toys or adult toys near the, 500 feet of a church. They already have a law in, Cleveland that does that. They had that, hookah, they had that, whatever you called it, thing next door to me was very, very loud. I had put up with that for 9 months. Only Trump got that gas station heroin out of there for me. It was only Trump. None of you helped me because I was down here 9 months ago. Nobody helped me. It was only Trump. I'm still a Republican or I'm Democrat, but I tell you what, I got 4 charges over shoving that at my house. And you know what they were doing there? over there for 15 Beaver. You guys know what was going on at 15 Beaver for a long time. And he was the owner, him and his mom. And nobody did nothing for me, nobody. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what else is going on. I got 18-wheelers going down Erie Street. Nobody's doing nothing. Great big sign. They got a funeral going on. Great big sign, no trucks. 18-wheelers. I still got them 4-wheelers going on. They got 2 12-packs on the roof. Nobody's doing nothing. When I called on that damn, whatever you call it, the smoke shop, I only got 1 police report out of 5 times. Can you tell me why? You have to be in charge of the employees, all the employees, not just yourself. I got your employees are going running around doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing. I can tell you that. And if I point them out, they'll be coming to my house trying to kill me. But that's what I want. I want 500. I want 500 feet. No smoke shops. And I was right when I came down here the last time about that gas station heroin. I even said they were selling to little kids. Didn't I say that? I said that. They was doing it. So I want to start calling highway patrol. I don't want 911 blocking me. All right?
Any other public comments? B?
New ranch looks wonderful, beautiful. Parks look great. Just 2 quick questions. Utility bill. Why is it when we get our utility bill, we have 7 days to pay it? Is there a reason why we don't get it 14, 16, 18 days earlier?
Mayor, you want to answer the question?
I don't have that answer. If she'd like to come meet with me, I'd be happy to meet with her about that issue.
Okay. Another thing, garbage. Garbage is an issue in the city of Niles. I understand there was a contract negotiated with the garbage. Just this morning, they picked up in my neighborhood, but at the end of Warren Avenue, I watched them do it. I even got out of my car after I blew the horn and asked them, are you going to clean that mess up? Busted glass as they were lifting the dump to go in the back. All the glass was on the ground. Are we going to negotiate these same people? Because trash is terrible in the city of Niles. They're not, I mean, they need to go and dump their trucks before they go around. I mean, I don't know about your neighborhood, but you go anywhere else and garbage is terrible, Steve, terrible. When's our contract up?
We just signed a contract last year, didn't we? We got another year.
I believe, Phil, 2 years off the top of my head. I think we have another
Phil was
2. I
the,
think it was a 3-year extension.
It might have been 3. Yeah.
Last bid, Republic Services was the only bid. Therefore, that's why they were awarded the contract.
Yeah, we put it out for RFP and they were the only ones to respond.
But can you make a phone call and correct the problem?
Well, Dee, I'll tell you, it's a twofold issue, and I was part of it when we signed to bring them on, and we brought on, and the price we brought on was comparable, if not better than everywhere else. And that doesn't give a pass on the trash being left in the road and not being cleaned up. When we evaluated, we brought them on based on trying to give the best price to everybody. Isn't that correct, Aaron, when we went through this? And we, the price now, if we're getting issues of, there's some complaints I see about they're leaving trash laying or knocking cans over or damaging things of that sort, then I'm sure the mayor can have Mr. Flaherty, or he'll reach out and talk about the actual service that's happening. But is, twofold. I mean, you got to get price and then you want some good product. And obviously the product is suffering a little bit, but price wise is why we brought them on. And I agree with you, Dee, I agree with you. I know.
Doug, we don't live in the ghetto, number one. Number two, we take pride in our city. And if people don't see the trash laying around, if you pay someone to do the job, you get the job done. Plain and simple. And if they ain't doing the job, who gives a shit if you got a cheaper price?
What can we do about some of these numerous complaints? Do they need to be isolated, addressed individually, or can somebody reach out as a whole and talk about I don't know, Mayor, do you have an answer on that? Or is there, if we keep getting, do you have to address it individually, or can somebody reach out and talk about there are some complaints? I can defend the price, but I know there is multiple people saying that the cans are being damaged, trash is being left in the road. What's the avenue?
I believe the contract states that if there is spilled trash, the drivers are supposed to clean it up. Whether that's happening or not, I'm not sure. I know one of the big issues is throwing loose trash in a can that is not bagged. And when I've seen it myself, that trash drivers empty that can, especially when the wind's blowing, you get trash blowing all over the place. So that is a big issue here and everywhere with trash. If there are issues, the local contacts phone number, Mona, she's more than helpful to get back to residents and accommodate residents, whether it be a billing issue or a complaint issue. That local contact is on the trash site, trash and recycling site of the city website.
And Steve, I have called, and they told me it's a city issue. Called Republic Services. My trash is always in a bag with the lid over it. I mean, come on now. We want to beautify the city, but we got a trash problem. And it isn't like it happened overnight. It's been going on for a while.
To make a comment. Mr. President, I'd like to make a comment.
There.
So in order to secure those low rates that we keep talking about is because of the volume of our contract. We hold a large portion of their business. So when we call, we have a large seat at the table to get their attention. So I urge you to reach out to your councilman. I've had several calls come to me when I've relayed them. They've responded quickly. I thank the administration. I thank Republic. But just because we have a cheap price isn't because they're doing us a favor. The cheap price is because we give them a large customer base and access to that customer base. So in doing so, we have to hold them accountable.
So Phil, what's our next step on just some of the trash and things being left?
We need specific examples that we can relay to the Mona.
If somebody would go by and take photos or something of these things that are happening, it would.
You can't really talk to them about just a general problem with doing it. If you have specific examples, then they can go and see who the driver was, address it with the driver.
Yeah, if you can get photos of it, it would be great. Get those photos and then you bring it and we can address those and have your property of what's going on. Do it on an individual basis. So, ma'am, could you state your name?
My name is Emma Kuznick, and I address you, Mr. Salito. I have talked to you about,
I want to clarify one thing. You did call me and say that you were allowed to come to council and you were coming to council and that you certainly have that right, come to
Right.
council. That's how it was said, so.
and I have a lot of complaints. I've lived here for over 30 years. You guys have treated me terrible. Mr. Ferrari, I've talked to the attorney about it. Your sewer department, your zoning department, you unleashed an animal on me, my neighbor. Mayor, you caused it all. And I'm getting tired of you guys saying I'm a troublemaker. Okay. They had zoning out there. They told this woman, don't do this. She got PO'd. She went and put weed killer on my grass because she didn't like that she had to do what they wanted her to do. Now yesterday, she got mad because Erin was out at the house. So she cut her grass. What'd she do? She took her weed whacker and made my whole thing by my fence bare. Because she didn't get away with it. Then she called zoning. So zoning, come out there. Okay? Well, then she got really PO'd. Next thing I know, she comes, because I seen the zoning truck go down. She went out there and she put all these things that they told her it was okay to put up before. So then what she do? She goes, sits on the porch, opens up her window, puts it up, puts the radio black sky high, right at my house. I really don't care, because I took the garbage down. I told her, thanks. I'm country. I like my country music. Okay? And I'm a dancer to it. I've been all my life. But I am tired of being crucified by the city of Niles. I am not the troublemaker. You guys let her get away with it, and she thinks she can because her nephew works for the sewer department. I told you that before, Mayor. And Sean next door, he's friends with your cousins. And he tells me, oh, he can call you and you can do anything. Okay? But I'll be 84 years old, and I'm tired of being called a man because I cut my grass. I clean my gutters. Okay? Yes, I take no medicine. Okay? I am in excellent health. I take care of myself, but I help people. I was a caregiver for 23 years. I was a supervisor of 75 women. I ran an office in a car dealership. So I'm no dummy. And I also make custom-made drapes. I've learned to do everything. I can change the toilet. I can put plumbing in because I learned how to do it. But it don't make me a man. And if I don't want a husband, I don't want another husband. I'm over 30 years. And I'm not going to correct another one. Forget it. But I think you better straighten the city out. I have done my damnedest to keep my property in excellent shape. It's never high grass, and it's always trimmed. And they even sweep the curbs so the gravel don't go down your sewer. But nobody else does. They throw all the stuff out there. But I think if we get better control of this woman, because all hell's going to break loose. And I don't want to get Niles in trouble. I've told you before, I'd rather for you guys to handle it and make sure that everything's taken care of right. Like my sewer things that Glenn lied about. He told Aaron he didn't tell me that. Yes, Glenn did. And he lied to Mr. Flurry when he come out there that time, and Mr. Flurry argued with me about the sewer. That there was nothing there, but there was. I showed him. I don't argue something unless I have the facts. And I just wish I'd get a little bit of help from the city of Niles. Because I try to improve this place. But you guys, you don't like me. And since I've been here, I have still had everything's taken out of my house. I've had a Mickey Mantle baseball stolen. I've had antiques stolen, silver dollars, Kennedy half dollars. And the police never did a thing about it. They blame my daughter. This is what I've gone through for 30 years. Well, I ain't putting up with it no more. And I'm not moving out because I've had a cop tell me move. If I don't like it, move. You can kiss my A-double. I will not move. This is my home. My daughter's here, my grandkids. And you guys better get it, or otherwise I'm going out. I'm going to go out public, and I don't want to do that to you guys. I like all you. I like Mr. Lasky. I like Aaron. I like Mr. Sleeto. I even like Mr. Zuzlo. You, it's a whole different ballgame. Because I don't think you should be in a mayor. Sorry to say, but I'm sorry. That's the truth. And Mr. Flurry shouldn't be in his place either when he don't know what's going on. And argue with me. And tell me I'm out there watching my meter. That's an insult. I'm older than he is. You don't treat people that way. And I'm going to tell you right now, you won't treat me no more that way. Because I will handle it another way. I just like a little respect from all you men. And yes, I am a woman. But I also know my rights. And I know not know me either. And I thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Mr. Salito, Mr. Zulio, Aaron, Mr. Lasky.
Any other public comments? Come on. Hang on a second. Come on up. What's your name? your name for the record? What was the last name again? Okay.
Down your mic. Yeah.
So, I would have brought this guy to you guys' attention sooner, but you had a lot on your plate. You had data centers thing going on, and other complaints going on here. We moved here last October from Weathersfield. We've been here for about 13 years. Still learning your guys' rules. Not quite sure what's really going on here, but one morning, about 3 months ago, guy came to my house, introduced himself as Mr. Slido, the president of the Niles City Council, informing me that the Niles police came to him and said that one of his constituents was parking in the street overnight. As a favor to me and to him, and to them, I'm sorry, not to do so. I said, well, it's springtime. There's no snow. Working on my driveway, you can see this. Working on my yard, you can see this. I said, I'm surprised my councilman didn't come to see me. Well, this was no gentleman's response. The councilman is effing lazy. He doesn't know shit. As my children were standing right there behind me in the doorway, it was completely inappropriate. Completely inappropriate. Then, because I disagreed with Mr. Slido in his comments about one of the councilmen, this happens. The Niles building inspector showed up at my house right after that, laughing. And the gentleman said to me that Mr. Slido was blowing up his phone all weekend, then again on this Monday. The inspector drove by my home, looked and started to drive off, finding no violations. Well, his phone rang as he was driving away from my house. Mr. Slido was saying, well, why aren't you stopping at his home and just driving by? The neighbor sees you. Why is Mr. Slido focusing on me? Because I disagreed with him about the way he talked about a council member? I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not quite sure exactly why Mr. Slido is focused on me here. But he's here to run the meetings, am I right? He's not supposed to be going out and being a building inspector, not a code inspector, not single-handedly stopping the data center per Facebook. I don't know if that was sarcastic or whatever it was. About him lying to me about the police about parking. The police don't go to you and say that one of your constituents are parking in the road. Why you gotta just come out and lie to me? Getting in fights at bars with other people that don't agree with you that work on the council? This is ridiculous. You don't work and play well with others at all.
The building inspector was sent out. There was complaints, as you're aware of. You were out of compliance. You're parking your
No,
car.
I was not out of compliance. There was no violation whatsoever. Not one.
According to the inspector, he gave you X amount of time to get into compliance.
That was me parking into the road, period. I called the police station. They gave me a permit to park there for almost a month because I was widening my driveway due to them putting the landscape material on my driveway before we moved in. I only have a devil strip. It is all rock. I have no front yard. How can I park in my front yard per you when I have no front yard? What are you focused on me for? You don't work and play well with others. Our family likes living in Niles, but with Mr. Slido stepping over his bounds, this is ridiculous. I think council should be looking into him and consider removing him from council and prohibiting from him holding any city office. He does not work and play well with others, as we've heard here a couple times today already. He owes me an apology for all of this and the city of Niles about his behavior.
Do this. Let's start right now. You hold your breath and see how long you can hold it till you get that apology.
I see how this is.
Any other public comments? Carl?
David Petrola. I'm just addressing an issue that was talked about several weeks ago about the Zoom and YouTube. I was wanting to know where we are on YouTube channel, if there's one in the works or.
I will tell you the long and short of it, there's a plan, Abby, to have it in place by August.
Yeah, I was just within a month, you say? Oh, in the coming months. Okay. That's all I have right now.
Or Dave, the plan is to get it in place by August. Abby and them, and along with IT, they're working on it. So the plan would be to get to the end of August meeting. Bear? Carl?
Carl Jordan, 27 Andrew Boulevard. I missed the last couple meetings, work conflicts. I just came here to say, a few weeks ago, I had somebody go into my garage and steal a can of gas out of my garage. I know some people heard of it. When I called, the very nice lady that answered the phone, that's the police department, she sent a couple officers over. They took a report. I know there was, I posted the video in whatever remaining Facebook groups I'm allowed in. And people in the community just went to town, putting information out there. I got messages from people, and it was really good to see. To some people, yeah, it was $70. It's a gas can full of gas. Not a big thing. But it's the fact that somebody went into my garage to get it. With that being said, it took Niles PD 11 hours, and they knew who it was. They issued the warrant. I got a call from the court. The court called me to tell me that the man had turned himself in. He was being held on a $50,000 bond. And the next day, the detective called to inform me what was going on. I don't think you could ask for a better police response to something like that. And like I said, I know to some people, it's a gas can. It's not a big deal.
Coming onto someone's property, I think you hit it on the head. That was the big part, you know, coming into there.
And
Coming on your property while you were home.
right. I had been
That's
home
that's pretty brazen.
9 minutes. I
And
was home 9 minutes.
I would also point out that that individual was a suspect in other, so even though yours was just a trash can, there was other more serious, not that it wasn't serious, but additional incidents that he was targeted in.
My understanding from how it was explained to me is he had broke into somebody else's. And that person had seen the vehicle. They had seen the vehicle, kind of gave the description to Niles. Niles was able to use block cameras to pinpoint that vehicle. And I believe that vehicle's still sitting over there in the impound lot. I hope it stays over there. As far as I'm concerned, Niles PD did exactly what they should have done. And I don't think we could have asked for a better response. Mr. Kanakletus, I think that's your department, as well as the chief. I missed the last two meetings, but I know my wife talked to the chief. Yeah, I mean, it makes you feel better to know that even though that did happen, that they worked that hard to do it. Those guys showed up at my house at 10 o'clock the next morning. The two detectives, was Captain Marshall and Detective Roberts. Both of them were cool as could be. So I just want to put that out there that, you know, it is appreciated. I know some people, again, think the gas can, it's not a big deal. But I understand a prosecutor's going to call me to follow up with me before this goes.
That'll be the county prosecutor.
Okay, yeah.
Because we bound it over on the,
That's, yeah, they said they bound it over to the grand jury. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I appreciate it. I want to commend Niles PD, you know, that they went out there and made the point proven that even though it might be something small to some people, that scumbags like that won't be tolerated in here.
Or I'm sure that you're acknowledging and recognizing with fine service is well appreciated.
I just want to make sure the courts, you know, the courts do what they're supposed to do. Make an example out of them. These officers go out here and do their job every day. They got to fight with these scumbags. They got to deal with them. Make sure the court does their job. You know, I know it's not out of your hands, but it's a point that needs to be. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other comments? State your name, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Richard Strong. I live in 17 Robbins Avenue. And I got a couple things I want to say. Questions, please just, you know, you can answer after I get through saying them. The first thing I want to talk about is this omnibus of a, for lack of a better descriptive term, of an agenda tonight. It seems that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's in our emergency and passed without three readings. Interestingly, there was a councilman, Aaron Johnstone, who last term just preached, we have to have three. We have to have three. There was one instance where we wanted to pass something for an emergency for some hanky-panky happened to do with that, with the county engineers race. And we had to have three readings on that, so it didn't get passed in time to have any effect. Although the guy lost anyway, so it ended up not mattering. So where is that zeal to make sure that the public's informed with three readings? And the reason I asked that is because buried in there is a thing about $1 million for windows and stucco inside the forbidden building, the city building. And I just wonder what the rationale is behind that, what the cost benefit analysis says about new windows. Is it a significant savings that over time will pay for it, or are the windows just fine, maybe need recoated? We don't know anything about that. So on that particular issue, I mean, when you look at, we need sidewalks, we got an alley that would cost 16 grand to fix that we won't fix. We need sidewalks throughout and all over the city. As I've noted to Jim Shealy a couple times, when I drove down Mason two of the last three times, there was a parents in the street with baby strollers with babies in them because the sidewalks are impassable due to being broke, overgrown, weeds, etc. Baby carriage won't go through them. So there's that. And Doug, I have a question for you. Were you aware of, or were you involved in a conference phone call with a data center consultant?
I was not involved in it, and I was aware of it after. I don't know any details, any logistics of it whatsoever. Don't even know who was involved, did it. So no, I personally was not involved in any conversation of that sort about the data center with any contract. I don't even know. I don't even want to speak on it. I don't know anything about it.
Okay, that's good. The only thing I'm going to say about that is Niles was real clear. So about the only thing that should be discussed with any kind of consultant wouldn't involve the financial end of the administration. It should involve the law end of the administration. So I don't know. I understand it was Giovanni, who I have a great deal of admiration for. It was the mayor. It was Jimmy Julian, who I do not have admiration for, and Aaron Johnstone, who I'm ambivalent about. So there's that. The need for sidewalks. There's just transparency. You know, the fact that there's no video the next day. The fact that even with this, unless you have a booming voice such as mine speaking directly into the microphone, the people watching it on Zoom, when I've watched on Zoom, when I can't be here, I'm watching on, I can't understand half of what's being said. And I think a lot of that has to do with the acoustics of the room, et cetera. So we need to make a little step on that, and that video needs to be available the next day. That in the agenda somehow, some way, you guys got to figure out how to get that agenda available to the public and, for God's sake, to the councilman a week before the council meeting. It should, I don't care what the bare minimum is, it should be available. We should have some background information on the stuff you guys are voting on. And with that, I say have a nice day.
Let's start out backwards though. Mr. Zuzlo was to talk about the agenda and the time frame about a week before. And Bill, if you go ahead and speak on that.
Yeah, it's not, I'm the one that prepares the agenda, me and Abby. And it's just not going to be possible. Like things are coming up in the city even the day before that we've got to amend it. So, and we've tried our best to get it out to council, ahead of time. It should be posted. Well, because usually the drafts are done, they're reviewed by council, not finalized. It goes out. So I'm not going to send it until it's finalized. That goes out the night before though. And I didn't realize, I think we had me and Abby, it's my mistake, that it should be posted on the website as soon as she puts it out. And I think starting this time it is. And also on the Zoom stuff, you can do a public records request until we get them set so that it's constantly, and we can get you any Zoom. It's just going to our city account that's not being posted. My understanding is talking to Chris now, though, they can kind of concurrently work Zoom and YouTube together. And then that storage would be on YouTube. So you'd be able to go to our channel and see it in it. So. Yeah. Well, like I said, if there's a meeting you want to see, send me a public records request. And I just don't have it in real time right now.
I think that we've talked about it a little bit ad nauseum, and the video is the goal and the intent is to have it in place by, we're off till the middle of August, and I think the goal is to shoot for that, and fingers crossed if we can do it. I know Abby's got a lot of input on this, so we're working on this, and the goal will be to have the videos ready by the time we reconvene in August. The 3 readings, I will say, and I don't want, okay. Well, that'd be what, we're in June, July, we got June, July, August. Yeah, Phil said he thought we'd be okay by then. So the 3 readings, I will say there is times that rules need to be suspended, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm clear we've done it. I've been, if there's such a word, for lack of better words, guilty of it. We've had to suspend rules to get things.
Yeah, I'd like to talk on that since my name was mentioned specifically. This is our last meeting before we recess for summer break. So council's not going to be here for 6 weeks. So what we have is we end up with a large amount of items that we're trying to forecast over the next 6. So if there's anything that has to have paid or in motion within the next 6 weeks before council resumes, it got moved to the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda is quite large. I do acknowledge that, but that is the reason behind that.
Aaron, on your defense on that, it's not 6, it's more like 10 weeks till we reconvene.
Even better yet.
Yeah, correct. That's
3 meetings we will miss 3 meetings. Therefore, we have business that the city's still running. So therefore, cash transfers, grant applications, going out for engineering services, we will take that 6 weeks, go out and get those quotes. So when we reconvene after summer break, we have information to make decisions. So that is why you'll see tonight on the consent agenda is a little heavy load.
Ma'am, no, your times came up. Can you meet with the law director after the meeting here in a few minutes? Okay. What, I think that's, does anybody want to speak on anything else on that? The data center calls, or anybody anything on that? Because I don't know anything about it.
I have no problem speaking on that. I was part of that. Got the invite, they set up. So when part of our plan to, after the public interest came out, all the meetings, part of our plan of action was a moratorium, which we have passed, and we said we were going to hire a consultant, which we have. That consultant is specifically helping our housing and zoning department draft legislation, zoning codes that would meet the public outcry that we had. So what we did is we did hire him, and they had what they call an introductory meeting. What we did is we got on a Zoom call. We met with him, told him what the public was saying they wanted this to look like. He set up some timeframes. Part of it, oddly enough, he set up some public meetings. We talked about having a couple public meetings made of it. He would be available to the public as well. So it was an introductory meeting to kick off what we hope this to look like, establish timeframes. We let him know that we had a 6-month moratorium. We let him know that about the statewide petition and that we wanted to see that play out first, but continue to work with him in the background in case the petition wasn't successful. And we established a point of contact through housing and zoning for city council to get any concerns that they may have over to the consultant as well. I was very impressed with him. He has worked with several other communities on this topic, so it was refreshing. You know, sometimes we live in the little city of Niles and we forget how involved this is statewide. And so he had some perspectives from other communities that he thinks would help us too. So I appreciate the invite, and it was very informative.
The only thing I'll say on that is the mayor and I, we seem to disagree on that. If something would happen with the mayor tomorrow on a temporary basis, I would have to assume those duties. And it doesn't appear there's a respect of what my responsibility would be on his end. And I can't accept that. And the Ohio Revised Code is pretty clear on what the duties are and the responsibility. And I'm going to have to insist until I have to challenge it another way that there's more communication on that end from the mayor's office. Won't accept it. Won't accept the conversation we had yesterday. And it will not be going that way going forward. Why they have elections. So get ready. Any other public comments? Mayor, try to find your own line. You're not original in anything. Try not to, don't try to be so now. Yes, you don't call point of order. Any other public comments? Did you present today's legislation?
The following draft will be brought to the floor for the first time. Draft 11926, a resolution authorizing the City of Niles to adopt the Trumbull County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan and declaring an emergency.
Motion for a first reading.
Got a motion by Mr. Julian for a first reading, second by Mr. Lastic. Any questions, comments, concerns? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Johnstone,
Yes.
Mr. Shealy, Mr. Leskovic,
Yes.
Mr. Julian, Mr. Lastic, Mr. Stredney.
Yes.
6 yeas.
Draft number 119-26 has received its first reading.
The following draft will be brought to the floor for the third time. Draft 9226, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund account 101 to the general fund miscellaneous account for the city-funded business grant approved by the Community Improvement Corporation of Niles for St. Pope John Paul 23rd and declaring an emergency.
Any questions, comments on it? Council's pleasure.
Is this for?
Yeah.
Do we do for a third reading and adopt?
Yeah.
Or does it have to be separate? Move for third reading?
Second?
Motion by Mr. Stredney, second by Mr. Johnstone. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Johnstone,
Yes.
Mr. Shealy,
Yes.
Mr. Leskovic,
Yes.
Mr. Julian.
Yes.
Mr. Lastic? Abstain, okay. Mr. Stredney?
Yes.
5 yeas.
Move for adoption.
Motion for adoption by Mr. Stredney, second by Mr. Johnstone. Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Johnstone?
Yes.
Mr. Shealy?
Yes.
Mr. Leskovic?
Yes.
Mr. Julian?
Yes.
Mr. Lastic?
Staying.
Mr. Stredney?
Yes.
5 yeas.
Draft number 92-26 has received its third reading. Clerk, could you read the consent agenda, please?
The following drafts will be part of the consent agenda passed together with suspension of 3 readings and adopted as an emergency as applicable in the corresponding legislation language. Draft 93-26, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund account 101 to the general fund miscellaneous account for the city-funded business grant approved by the Community Improvement Corporation of Niles for Higgs Hot Rods. Draft 126, an ordinance authorizing the execution of an advanced metering infrastructure schedule with American Municipal Power, Inc. Draft 101-26, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund for the Wellness Center turf replacement project. Draft 102-26, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund for the advanced metering infrastructure project for a debt service payment. Draft 103-26, an ordinance authorizing monthly cash transfers. Draft 104-26, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund for the design and engineering of the park concrete and fence replacement. Draft 105-26, an ordinance authorizing the service director to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the park concrete and fence replacement project and authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund for the construction of the park concrete and fence replacement. Draft 106-26, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds from the unappropriated general fund for tree removal for Stevens Park. Draft 107-26, a resolution adopting the alternative tax budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2027. Draft 108-26, a resolution authorizing the service director to issue a request for qualifications for the Wilder Field outfield turf project. Draft 109-26, a resolution authorizing the service director to issue a request for qualifications for the Niles Sanitary Detention Pump Station Improvements Project. Draft 110-26, an ordinance authorizing the service director to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the Wilder Field outfield turf project. Draft 111-26, an ordinance authorizing the service director to advertise for bids and for the Waddell Park Multipurpose Recreation Area Project. Draft 112-26, an ordinance authorizing the service director to advertise for bids and enter into contract for power line clearance and tree trimming project. Draft 113-26, an ordinance authorizing the service director to enter a contract with Forester, doing business as Anunson and Obarto Consulting Foresters for forest management of city-owned properties. Draft 114-26, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $160,000 to pay costs of improving the city's street facilities, including constructing and equipping a salt storage dome and acquiring a dump truck and tractor and additional vehicles and equipment for use by the city's street department, together with necessary appurtenances. Draft 115-26, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $1 million to pay costs of improvements to buildings and facilities of the city, including window and facade repairs, together with all incidental work and necessary appurtenances. Few more. Draft 116-26, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $2,454,000 to pay costs of improving the municipal sanitary sewer system by acquiring and equipping a vacuum truck and improving the wastewater treatment plant, together with all incidental work and necessary appurtenances. Draft 117-26, a resolution authorizing the City of Niles to apply and accept the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant Program from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services. Draft 118-26, an ordinance approving a then and now payment request for Mainlight Electric for emergency traffic light repair.
I have a comment.
Go ahead, Mr. Johnston. I have some as well. Yeah. Go ahead.
All I wanted to do is in our roundtable, I mentioned draft 9326, that is a CIC grant. Typically, something that's under the consent agenda is something that is not getting 3 readings. It is under that consent agenda. However, this would be its 3rd reading. So I just want the record to reflect all our CIC grants get those 3 readings.
I do think that Wilder Field addition is going to make it state of the art for this area. I think that's going to be really, that being said, draft 115-26, I had some questions, concerns. $1 million to a city building that has limited access at best when we can't get $16,000 to help the Dragon Convenient, the convenience store, the Chef Pang building that left that we're trying to get, and we can't pull $16,000 out, and we have roads that need done, people complaining about raw sewage in their house. And I'm not saying that this building might not need some upkeep, but priority-wise, I can't see any way that you would take $1 million on a building that, other than going through the side wing, when I proposed the side wing a few years ago, $500,000, and that building was going to have access to the citizens to come in, to meet with council, and their whole separate wing to go down and have a service desk. It was said it was too much. And now the building is closed, and we're going to invest $1 million to put windows in there and stucco the ceiling and other repairs of something that does not have full access. It may need to be done, but I cannot see how that jumps ahead of roads, civil duty to the citizens, sewage lines, infrastructure, let alone this is a bond that may not be a lot, but there will be a interest rate paid back on this. And I don't know where the stucco ceilings, things need to be done. The only way the citizens will see that is if they look through the side window. So those are my concerns on that. I don't know, do we have any other questions, comments, concerns on anything else on the consent agenda?
That wasn't stuccoing ceilings. It was the stucco,
Meeting, that was part of the thing that was referenced.
it was not stuccoing the ceiling.
What was it?
It's stuccoing
Stuccoing
the
the
outside
outside.
wall.
And the emblem on the building, right?
What's that?
And the emblem on the building,
Yeah,
windows.
yeah, it was the new windows and possibly stuccoing the outside wall behind the park to make it look more presentable.
And this was to go out for bid, right?
But there was,
I could jump in. The stucco is not happening. So regardless of what it is, all the council at the committee meeting, that cost was well above, I think, what everybody was comfortable with. So the way that this bond is going to be written tonight, all we're doing is securing the money. I know Auditor Merlot wasn't able to make it. That's why we had our finance meeting instead to answer questions. So out of the $1 million, 450,000 was for window replacement. There was also 200 to 250 in some sidewalk and concrete repair. The remaining balance was what council wanted to have another discussion as to what to do. And the idea behind this was to enhance the appearance of the city building's exterior wall that now is the backdrop for Niles Public Square. So we don't even know what money will be remaining out of that $1 million, but tonight what we knew we had to do was to secure that money. And then whatever we decide to do, council will have to have another vote on, is how we
So
discussed
the
it.
whole $1 million will not go into the city building?
Well, in different areas, Doug. So 450 of that is windows. So roughly half of the bond will be just a complete window replacement of the whole facility. Yes, but I'm not saying it's not going in. I'm just saying it's split up.
This is just to go for that bond. They would still have to come back and do the RFP or bid for whatever they want to spend it on. So if we go get this bond and it's good, passes and everything, they go secure the bond, they want windows, we still then have to pass for the 450 or whatever it is going to cost for those windows. And
Was there any talk of making the front entry ADA accessible and having open access as there was in the past with all the previous mayors where you had ability to, you understand you can walk into the Scope Center freely. You can walk into the Wellness Center freely. You can walk into the bank. You can walk into any other building other than that building. So there's no more risk in that building, and there's greater, you can't say it's not important that if it's important there, then why are you able to go into the senior center? Why are you able to go into the wellness center and all the other things that are in place? So that really needs to be looked at. Any other questions, comments? Council's pleasure on the consent agenda.
Motion to suspend and adopt.
Got a motion by Mr. Johnstone, second by Mr. Lastic. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Johnstone,
Yes.
Mr. Shealy,
Yes.
Mr. Leskovic,
Yes.
Mr. Julian.
Yes.
Mr. Lastic, Mr. Stredney,
Yes.
6 yeas.
The consent agenda has been adopted under council rules. Miscellaneous remarks. Abby, anything? Mayor?
Couple of things. If you haven't seen yet, on Monday, the governor had signed the state capital bill for fiscal year 2027. In that bill, City of Niles was awarded $950,000 in grant funding for the Niles City Park System, specifically Woodell Park. So fiscal year 27 capital budget, $950,000 coming back to the City of Niles. I do want to acknowledge our state representative, Representative Santucci, for going to bat for his district and the City of Niles specifically. Very happy anytime we are able to secure grant funding for quality of life projects in our parks. Next, the annual 4th of July parade. We have our grand opening of Niles Public Square on the 4th. A fun-filled family day, fireworks at night, food trucks during the day, band during the day. We have our annual car show throughout the day as well. So come on down on Saturday the 4th for the parade and the grand opening, as well as the fireworks for the 4th of July. And finally, Mr. President, you mentioned the West Wing, and I do want to, for the side entrance, I do want to thank you for recognizing the last term how ludicrous it was to spend such a high dollar amount, and recognize that you and I have often joked ever since about how ridiculous that project was, how ridiculous it was to spend that amount of money when, in fact, the city building is open. And you also did joke around, and it was serious, that that whole city building is closed issue was just totally absurd. So thank you for that, Mr. President.
George?
No comment.
Mr. Service Director?
No comment.
Chief? Kevin, anything from the chief? Mr. Johnstone?
Just want to, hopefully we see everybody down there on July 4th. There's plenty to do, plenty to eat. Hope to see everybody there.
Julie?
I do have something. I see the gentleman had left, but I believe he lived down on Cleveland. I was at his place last year. I was called about a complaint about a basketball hoop up on a city pole that he had put up. And I had a talk with him and he addressed that issue. But as far as like, when people get a hold of me about issues with council or with issues within the city, I do my best to go out, look at it, assess it, take pictures if need be, get the address, share it with our housing department, follow up with them, follow up with our traffic officer. There's been an issue over and over again about a vehicle over on Mason Street parking on a tree lawn. He was spoke to again by our traffic officer. I actually texted the traffic officer and the mayor as well, and he was spoke to again. There's issues over on Wood Street that I'm dealing with right now that are just terrible, you know, junk everywhere. People tend to, I don't understand why they junk up their lawns. All right, I get it, some people do scrapping for some extra money or whatever, but junk all over your lawn, all over your porch, it's just ridiculous. And I know the focus this month is supposed to be the third ward, and I have to contact Matt again because one of the places on Wood Street, they are bringing in more stuff, and the resident just sent me a photo earlier that I had showed to the mayor, and I have to forward this to Matt. They're bringing in more stuff, and it's just, and a lot of these, everybody says rentals, rentals, rentals over and over again. A lot of these that I've dealt with have been homeowners. They've been homeowners, and it's, you know, it's sad. Everybody wants a bash for rentals, but a lot of them are homeowners, and it's really sad. And a lot of this is going on. It's going on all over Niles, but it seems like a lot happens right here in the third ward. And, you know, I get contacted, you know, a few years ago, a lady had, it was a neighbor dispute. And I had people tell me, yo, don't, you know, don't get involved, but I had to get involved. I helped the lady the best I could. And it was a problem. And what ended up happening on the 4th of July, there was a murder at the house next to her. And being the concerned person I am, you know, she messaged me, said that there was an ambulance over there. She had no idea what happened. The next day I wake up, there was a murder there. I was down at the mayor's office, and we got our police chief involved, and they hit these people with citations for, you know, nuisances, and got them out of there. But still, it's just, it really bothered me that this happened. I was right there at her house after I was done talking with the mayor to check on her to make sure she was okay. And it's just sad, some of the things that's going on within our city, but we can't help all of it, but we're trying to make a difference. I am trying to make a difference.
Thank you, James, for all you do.
Just have a good, safe summer, and hope to see you on the 4th. Be a good day.
Jimmy? Bear? Okay.
Have a safe summer.
I want to thank council for, I know they worked pretty aggressively and diligently about bringing the fireworks and the fair back, and that was each one of you was did an excellent job. You had a big role in trying to make that happen, and you heard what the citizens wanted on that, and I commend each of you about that, because that's long overdue to bring that back. And thank each one of you, because I know it's appreciated, and that public square, each one can hold your head up high because you did the citizens well on that. And thank Dave Petrola for coming and volunteering his time with the car show. And I have to address, the mayor is correct. $500,000 did not seem like a reasonable and proper thing to do, because the building seemed like it would be limited access. But it really seemed like, now it seems like what a great deal it was to put $500,000 to give access to the citizens, to spend $1 million on a building that's closed, but nothing else.
I'll second.